Hey guys, Steven here. I've had something on my mind that I've been trying to figure out, exactly what I want to do. And I think I want to start making some longer videos to be educational, especially with spring and summer coming on. I want to select a certain pest and talk about that pest, give a little information about it, not go real in depth with it, but just some basic information for every homeowner that would be good for them to know. So that way, if they ever run across it, they sort of already know a little bit about it, and it'll just help them be able to make a decision on whatever they want to do. If they want to try to take care of it themselves, or if they want to call a professional. Um, I'm going to attempt to do this. Definitely is at least once a month, upload a video, but I may be able to do it once every couple of weeks. I'll just have to just see how things are going, see how busy I get, stuff like that. So for this first one, I want to talk about termites. And I'm going to break it up into sections. I'm going to talk about exactly what termites are. I'm going to talk about common species of termites found in North Texas, and then going to talk about just when termite season actually is here in North Texas. So the first one, what are termites? So the termites that we deal with in this area are called eastern subterranean termites, meaning that they come from underground. They are classified as a wood-destroying insect, just like carpenter ants and wood-boring beetles. The difference is termites actually, when they get on a piece of wood or cardboard or anything like that, they actually eat it to be able to digest the cellulose that is within the wood. That's how they get their nourishment and continue to survive. They have what's called a symbiotic microorganism in their gut, and that's what helps break down the cellulose into sugars, and that's where their nourishment comes from. The termites, going back to what I just said or touched on, termites don't just eat on wood though. They'll eat cardboard, they'll eat paper, tree roots, stuff like that, because they are underground. There's all kinds of organic matter and material that's buried in the soil that contains cellulose as well that they will eat on. So, all because you maybe somebody that has lived in your house for 20 years and never had an issue with termites. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that termites aren't in the area. It just means that the termites that are maybe under your house or somewhere around on your property, they've not really surfaced yet because they have found everything that they need within the soil. And once again, whether that be a tree root or other organic materials, maybe when your house got constructed, a bunch of lumber got buried somewhere in your yard. That right there, depending on how much it is, that could be years of food for termites. So that's the reason that I tell people it's not a matter of if you're going to get termites, it's when you're going to get termites. I've been in houses, I've been doing this long enough, I've been in houses that are barely a year old and they've already got termites on them. I've been in houses that are pushing 100 years old and have never had an issue with termites. So it's always good to just be proactive and at least have annual inspections done or have a baiting system installed, preventative baiting system installed around the house, things like that. Moving on, so the common species of termites found here in North Texas is going to be the eastern subterranean, like I've already mentioned. The other species that you may hear of, either on the internet or from other pest control companies or people that know about termites, is called Formosan termites and drywood termites. over the past few years, for Mosin termites, there have been a few cases of them being found here in the DFW area, but it's very rare. Those type of termites, along with the dry-woods, they really prefer to be in areas that are a lot more humid. So like Houston, Corpus Christi, along the coastal areas of Texas, that's typically where you're going to run into those species of termites. They have eastern subterranean down there as well, but the Formosan and dry-woods are definitely more prevalent in those areas. As far as when termite season is for here in Texas, it all depends on what the weather does. It can start as early as like around the middle of March, something like that, and can run into May, middle of May into May. Once again, a lot of it has to do with the weather and just what kind of season, what kind of spring we're having. Are we having a lot of rain? Are we having warmer temperatures? Is it colder than normal? Things like that. Even though we deal with the eastern subs up here, they still like humidity. So if, like, let's say we're in the middle of April and one day there comes a good rain, we get, I don't know, a half an inch of rain, something like that. We get a good steady rain for a couple hours. And then either later that day or the next day, it heats up in, 80 to 85 degrees, something like that. And it's real sticky and humid out. During that time between March and May, that's when we get the swarm season. And that's when you see the termites flying around. And that right there, that weather condition is perfect for them. They absolutely love it. So it just, some seasons we hardly have a termite swarm at all because the weather is not conducive for a good termite swarm. In other seasons, we have a really good swarm because we're getting a lot of rain, we're getting a lot of warm weather. It's real humid on a lot of days, stuff like that. The swarming termites, they do break off of a pre-existing mature colony, from wherever that may be. Those termites that break off of those colonies and swarm, they are sexually reproductive termites, male and female alike. And once they leave a colony, they're not really good flyers at all. So once they get up in the air, if the wind's blowing especially, they're just going to go wherever the wind blows them. I mean, honestly, you could go outside and see them on your back patio. And all because you have the swarmers on your back patio doesn't mean that they came anywhere close to either on your property or around your property. They could have came from 10 houses down the road. It just all depends on what the wind is doing that day. These swarmers typically only have their wings for roughly 20 minutes or so, give or take some. And then when their wings fall off and they land, the female termite, she puts off a sex pheromone to attract a male mate. And then it's honestly the first male termite that approaches her and comes into contact with her. When she realizes that she has a male behind her, she will lead the way, and the male has to stay in contact with his antenna to her abdomen, and they'll follow each other, or the male will follow the female, and they'll go excavate a small hole, either in the soil or, the wood, like the trunk of a tree. And then they'll seal the hole and they'll start reproducing. And within a few days to maybe a couple weeks, the female will start laying her eggs. And then it's off to the races. It could take between 3 to 7 years for the colony to really be established, to where it could cause an issue with it being structural if it's near your house and the termites get on your house. But it does take quite a few years for them to really build up their numbers. That first year, it's really, really, really slow growth. They're real susceptible to not surviving at all. But then if they survive after that first year, um, obviously they just continue to reproduce for their whole lives. The king and the queen stay together within the colony the whole life of the colony, and they're just constantly reproducing. And so after roughly 5 years or so, it's formed into a big colony of, could be in upwards of 100,000 workers or more. Um, there's a lot of studies that show different things on that, but that's generally what it is. Um, so, I mean, that's really the most important things that you as the homeowner should know. Also know this, that let's say you're walking around your house and you happen to see a mud tube coming up the side of your foundation. Just know that all because you break the mud tube, that does not mean that that eliminates the colony. That just interrupts those particular worker termites that are in that area, and they're going to retreat back to the colony, or they may die if they can't make it back to the colony. And then it is possible that those termites won't resurface again for many years, or it is possible that months down the road they find another way, or they find another area of your house where they start building a mud tube back up to be able to get to the wood that's in your house. And another myth or misconception, if you will, is a lot of people think, oh, well, I live in a barn dominium. The house, it's all metal all the way around. Well, yes, the outside is metal, but the bones of the house, the frame of the house is still built out of 2x4s and out of wood. So it is all because you're in a barn dominium or you're in a brick house or a stucco house. It does not mean that you're not susceptible to getting termites. Unless it's a big warehouse that is made pretty much out of nothing but steel beams, you're definitely susceptible to get termites. Conducive conditions around the house is obviously any wood touching the ground is conducive. So a wood fence, firewood that's laying on directly on the ground. Trees on your property are susceptible to termite damage, and also considered a conducive condition. But there's really, unless you want to cut the tree down, there's really not much you can do about that. Shrubbery, flower beds, mulch. There are so many things that are considered conducive conditions that's around each and everybody's home. I got it around my home. But that's why, because you can't eliminate all that, so that's why it is highly recommended that you get a preventative baiting system installed around your house. And what that baiting system does is there stations that go in the ground all the way around the house, depending on the size of the house and the linear feet around the house. You could have 20 stations, 15 stations, or if it's a big house, you can have 30 stations. And the idea is the termites that are in the area, they will find that station before they get on your house. They start eating on that bait. The bait does not kill them right away. It allows them to be able to consume some and then take some back down to share with the queen and the rest of the colony. And then over a period of time, it wipes out the whole colony. The baiting systems now are very, very effective. I highly recommend getting them, and or at least doing your research on them and maybe talking to a professional, another pest control company that can give you more information about them, because they are really effective and they are worth the investment to have. Because at the end of the day, for most people, 99% of people, your home is your biggest investment, so why not get it protected? Because termites, they cause, if you can look it up, and it's all, different publications and whatnot, but Generally, in a year, all over the U.S., termites cause about $5 billion worth of damage on different structures, houses, commercial businesses, stuff like that. So it's definitely worth something getting protected. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. We're running on about 15 minutes now. If you have any questions or anything like that, please leave it in the comments or reach out to me and I'll help you out any way I can. 817-383-1013. Thank you very much. Have a good one.